Hi again then guys, and welcome to another Horizon 3 performance build, and this particular build is for, again, not an obvious choice of top-end performance car in a similar way to the All-4 Mini Countryman, which we did earlier this week. But often with those kind of cars, they end up being a lot quicker than you'd probably expect them to be. In the case of this car, you have kind of a sleeper factor in there as well. People do kind of know that the transit van is quick by this point, but still, you could surprise some people by just how good it actually is. Now with a car like this, you do have some visual options, of course, alternate bumpers, etc. I've gone for a more understated appearance. You don't necessarily have to do that though. As far as the conversion, I've gone for the 5.8 litre. If memory serves, I think that's a Mustang engine, I believe it is. For the drivetrain, we've got all-wheel drive, pretty obviously. And as far as the aspiration, we've gone for the twin turbo. Again, very obvious choice there. As far as the visuals, as I already said, it's down to you. If you like the way this car looks, you can of course get it on my storefront. So just use the keywords down below to find that quickly and easily. But apart from that, if you'd rather do it yourself, do all the kind of obvious stuff that you would usually do. Increase the power as much as possible, lower the weight as much as possible, but without sacrificing too much in any one regard. So obviously don't change something if it significantly reduces top speed, but that's a pretty obvious thing to say. As far as tuning, and specifically the benchmark, it's pretty quick. 225 miles per hour flat out is not bad at all for something with essentially the aerodynamics of a brick. So that's pretty good for a transit van. 0 to 60 in 3.3 is certainly surprising. 0 to 100 in 6.4 is not bad at all for a vehicle of its size. And again, the top speed, it's pretty good. As far as the gearbox, we've got a final drive of 3.6. Then individual gears of 2.89, 1.99, 1.49, 1.16, 0.95 and 0.78. So similar to what we'd usually have, but with a few different changes in there. Because the gearbox on this car has a much more temperamental change effect in terms of speed. You change one little ratio here or there and it can affect it quite a lot. As far as alignment, as you can see, we've got neutral, camber and tow. 1 degree of caster for manoeuvrability, anti-roll we've got on 35 and 20, springs on 260 and 212. I've gone for the lowest ride height. The biggest, or the tallest ride height as well, would also look good, but I opted for the lowest on this one. Dampers we've got on 15, 12, 7 and 5. Aero of course doesn't apply, and for the diff, as I usually would, I've gone for 100% on acceleration, 0 on decel, but with a car like this you can definitely try different things, and some of them will increase manoeuvrability. As I've said before, I like my cars to be quite stiff through the corners, other people definitely don't. So again, it's down to you to change it as required for your personal preferences. As far as centre split, I've gone for 74% in favour of the back end, which again allows you to get the tail out if you want to, but gives you the advantage of the all-wheel drive off the line and of course off-road as well. So that's it for the tune, but let's see what it can do on the street. Overall then, as far as this car's competitive range goes, how many races it can actually win, well, I'm not necessarily promising anything there. It's a fast car, but fast only to a certain point. At the end of the day, it is a van that you're dealing with, so it's always going to be more of a novelty vehicle in a similar way to stuff like the Pterodyne Gurkha and also the GMC Vandura as well. That same kind of oddball left field choice of vehicle. It may not necessarily win all the races that you enter with it, but it certainly isn't slow, and it is, more importantly, more fun to drive than something that's just an obvious choice. Not necessarily as quick though, so obviously there's a payoff there. Overall though, as always, I hope you find the tune fun and potentially competitive as well if you do choose to race this thing. But overall, that's it for this tune, and I'll see you guys next time. And for now, as always, thanks for watching.